We are in Seoul. It is a cultural propaganda city. It pumps out K-pop, dramas, and obviously crazy food. But it is not a hidden gem in any way. Even haters know and respect this city. Like any big city in the world, it has its issues. So what's it actually like? This is Seoul. The good, the bad, and the overcooked.
I don't know what this is.
My understanding of Korean stuff was built on mainly hanging out in Koreatown in Toronto. This was what Korea was like in my mind. It's a little dated, but Seoul? It is from another dimension. It is dense, energetic, and man is it bright. South Korea's lighting bill has to be massive. This is one of the coolest vibes I've ever seen. They do not give a fuck about light pollution here. Don't live here if you hate light, or get a sleep mask. Shit is bright. Like I was saying, there are tons of neighborhoods here, and they all feel like their own little flashy towns. Seoul itself is a mix of old school and modern. I would see a lot of old-fashioned stuff, and then I would see stuff that looks like it's from the future. Like I'll be walking by a fish market one moment, and then a giant glowing wall of beer the next. I get why people love this place. The atmosphere is astounding. We stayed in an area called Sinchon. It was recommended as a chill starter package area. It was near universities, and it's close to another area called Hongdae, which is like a party area. Every morning in a new city, we stumble out the hotel like disoriented raccoons, and we try to find something to eat. Usually whatever looks good in the area.
Okay, we're standing outside, we're hungry, we're looking for a place to eat, and this place had some photos outside that looked really good. And we're like, damn, how are we gonna order? I took a picture of the stuff so I could just literally show them the photo. Little did we know, we come in, the girl speaks English, and she's like, oh, the menu is also in English, and it's so high tech. And you actually don't even have to interact with anyone, you just pick what you want, which is perfect. They actually also have the menu, underneath the glass of the table, which is a pretty smart idea. If you're ever wondering where cutlery is when you're in Korea, it's usually baked into the table, and you just pull out a little drawer and everything you have is there. You usually get a bunch of small side dishes anytime you go to a Korean restaurant. Here it's actually do it yourself, so they have a little station and then you can just get as much of each as you want yourself. This is kimchi, this is radish. This I have no idea what it is, but she came over and told me that a lot of people like it, so I should try it. So we'll try it. I have no idea what that is. Kind of feel like I'm eating a baby snake or a baby worm, but it's good. I knew when I saw that it was 1 grandma in the back, it was gonna be good, and it's so good. It tastes like a home cooked meal. It's exactly what I wanted on this fall day. It's such a cozy meal, very tasty, very clean, not over seasoned, just some nice bone soup. Just look at all the stuff in here.
That's just what I needed. I was getting cranky. I waited too long to eat. I'm going to change that. I just love the natural flavors. It's not over salted. They kind of give it to you plain and then you adjust it to your salt level. Everything's here on the tablet. You just punch it in, you pay. There's no better feeling than paying before leaving, but you still have food and you know that once you've just done your final chew, you could just get up and just open both hands and just disappear into the night. I love that feeling. That's freedom.
Okay, this is just blowing my mind. They got the 7-Eleven. It's just dead empty. There's not a soul in there. I thought the cashier stepped out for a smoke. It's unmanned. It's just an empty, unmanned 7-Eleven built on the trust system. You go in, you take what you need, you pay. I think there's no one there most of the night. It's just like a robot 7-Eleven. It's not like Toronto's a shithole, but I feel like coming from Toronto, this stuff would be gone. They just have it figured out here. They're just doing it better. I don't know what it is. Something in the water here is the kimchi. All the fermented food got them thinking right. I don't know, man. Well, I'm going into steel. Seoul is also the land of the barbecue grill house. There are more barbecues here than people. I have no clue how all these barbecue joints stay in business, but this is how they do things.
Any direction you turn your head, there's a Korean barbecue spot. Like, you can find a Korean barbecue spot here, here, here. Like, it doesn't matter where you turn.
The barbecue place is basically considered Korean church here. It's where people go after work to socialize, for date nights, or just to watch the game. Our first Korean barbecue spot was at a place that was pretty touristy. There were a couple of guys at the front, like telling people to come inside, and I normally hate that, but it looked like there were locals there, so we went in. This was an advanced barbecue joint where you gotta grill your own stuff. And this might seem obvious to some people, but foreign to others. We've been to plenty of barbecue places before, but these are different meats we were working with. So there's a chance we messed it up a little bit.
Okay, he said the first 3 here, they first grill it outside there, and then you grill it again here. I'm getting a full-on sauna right now.
I was gonna get a beer, but then I'm like, I'm in Seoul. Like, let me just do what they do. They get the soju, they got these little shot glasses, and this stuff just goes down. It's kind of dangerous, but whatever. That is refreshing. It is cozy as hell in here. We're right by the flame. We got our own private charcoal grill. This is a cozy experience. Everyone's cooking. You're cooking, and then he's cooking. They let everyone cook.
I'm cooking, but also cooking. I want them to cook it for me. I don't want to do it. I've never done it. So we just ate at this restaurant behind me, Gongneung Dakhanmari, which is basically a place that just specializes in chicken stew. It actually is only a few feet away from our hotel, which is why we decided to eat here. We looked it up, it had high ratings. And then we later found out that it's actually a pretty famous place, and it's mentioned in a lot of Seoul travel guides as a place to go to eat this chicken stew. The chicken was really natural. Like, if you're used to like Costco hormone chicken, then you might think it's dry, but it's just very natural chicken, really healthy stew and broth with some mushrooms in there, some green onions. The sauce that you dip the chicken into was so good. The chicken's kind of just like a vessel for the sauce. Overall, it was such a warm, healthy, and hearty meal, and honestly, we'll probably be back before we leave Seoul. So I'm glad we stumbled upon it. It's raining, but we wanted like a quick little snack before we pop back into the hotel. There's a stand right outside of our subway exit that we passed by a few times. We weren't really sure what they offered, but turns out they have some dumplings and some noodles. So we got one order of dumplings just to try it. For $3.50 plus a side of attitude from the lady. It's not bad, you know? For that price, I'll take it. The sign actually says never frozen, always fresh, so they're tasty. It's a Saturday night in Seoul, and Seoul goes hard like every day of the week. So we got our little drinks, and we're gonna have a little sip and a little walk around and see what's poppin'. We're gonna go to the Hongdae area, which is basically like the university kids area. I have no idea what this is, but it has a cute little girl on it and a peach. I think that means it's for me. Cheers. That tastes like a fuzzy peach.
Anywhere you turn, you just accidentally walk into a vibe.
We had Korean barbecue last night, and you know what? I'm fucking down for it again. We just had our second Korean barbecue here, and it was a completely different experience. They actually cooked it for us, which was a lot more stress-free and a lot more delicious because they actually know what they're doing. The meat was also higher quality, I think. It was just overall really good. We actually paid the same amount as we did last time, but we got like a platter of different meats, a bunch of different vegetables, all the little side dishes, and it was so delicious. So the lesson is, if you don't really know what you're doing, if you ain't Korean, just go to a place where they'll do it for you because you'll have such a much better, more tasty experience. The temperature has sharply dipped today. Yesterday it was 20, today it's 6 degrees. So we walked out and we were very chilly looking for something to eat. And then Roman found this Viet place. We were supposed to go to Vietnam, so we wanted to just have a little taste of what we'd be missing. It's called Mǎm Mǎm Table. They only have 5 things on the menu, which I actually really like because it means they do those 5 things really well. And we both got the beef noodle soup in Ho Chi Minh style, and it was delightful. It has warmed our souls, and now we're a little bit warmer. Still cold, still need to go buy a hat, but it was really tasty. I'll say respect to these vendors because most of them have a sign that say give me the trash, unlike in Taipei where we couldn't find a trash can anywhere. Good. Very saucy, but I think Koreans go heavy on the sauce.
It's bathed in sauce. It does seem to be the Korean way. It's the saucy way. But it is good. I happen to like the sauce. It's sweet. Chicken's grilled well. Not going to get sick off of this one.
I had this last time I was in Seoul, and it's a core memory because we went on a hike and like no one brought snacks, but I brought an egg bread and it was so good. I feel like they've gotten smaller. I feel like there's a little shrinkflation, but it's egg and bread. What can go wrong? It's like a sweet, dense bread. So if you like the sweet and salty mix, then you'll probably like this.
It's okay. The egg's overcooked. Kind of dry. Just $2. So I've seen people walk around with these little skewers of sausage and some kind of rice cake. I am told it is a rice dough. I looked at the guy and smiled, and he just gave me the most like soulless eyes I've ever seen, but I feel like I just wanted to try it. I thought it was getting like flamed up on the spot. The man just tossed it in the microwave for like 1 minute right there. That kind of just tells you the vibe of the market. Like some stuff is made fresh right there and then. Some stuff is made as if you're just high late at night at home and you just toss like a Pillsbury frozen thing into your microwave. It's garbage.
Yeah. I don't know what this is. I'm basically just gonna peel the rice cake off and just eat the sausage.
We're at a night market, you know, in one of like the greatest cities in Asia, but that doesn't stop people from just tossing some shit in the microwave because it saves a buck. It's quicker. You don't have to fry it up. You gotta just use your common sense and look around and be like, does this seem legit, or does the man have no soul in his eyes? If there's no soul present, just walk away because then you know that love is not being transferred into the food.
So they had this at the Myeongdong Market. It was actually kind of massive. Like, again, too big. They want you to make your meal, but it was 10,000 won. Here, this one was 6,000 won. Okay, got the banana. Like, I see the frozen strawberry in my bite. I'm fucking cold. How are you gonna put a frozen strawberry in a warm cake, man? How are you gonna do me like that? I'll just take it. I'll just eat it. It's so strange. Like you just made this freshly warm crepe and like one side where the strawberries are is just ice cold already.
The crepe's kind of crusty. She cooks it a tad too long. And I'll take it because I'm hungry. This has probably been the least satisfying crepe I've ever had in my life.
I need a Korean to tell me, is this how it's meant to be? Are the crepes in Korea made with frozen strawberries? Because I've heard that Koreans like ice cold stuff. Like I've heard that even in cold weather, they will drink ice cold drinks. Asking for a Korean friend, is this right or this ain't right? I don't know, man. I'm just the messenger. Don't shoot the messenger.
I know Korea has a lot of fans when it comes to street food, so what I say next might get me killed. To be honest, we found it just okay. Maybe part of the problem is we just came from Taipei, and the street food in Taipei is untouchable. Very few cities can live up to that, and that's okay. Seoul has plenty of charming restaurants with phenomenal food, if you're down to discover it. Even though we thought the street food here was just fine, that doesn't mean we didn't like specific spots.
This is the first tteokbokki we're having in Korea. I really like the rice cake. I like tteokbokki, but I can't eat ones that are too spicy. And we'll see how this one is. That's actually a good amount of spice. Consistency of the rice cake, perfect. Tastes fresh. I think there's a fish cake in here too. They're huge on the big serving sizes here. You can't really get like little knobs. Like every stall wants you to have your entire meal at their stall. Now that was reasonable pricing. 5 buns for 5,000 won. They not only look fresh, they obviously are fresh. I saw the man steaming them in front of me. Oh, it's hot. It's a very good bun to filling ratio. Usually when you take a bite of a bao, like first bite is just bun. And maybe people like that. For 1,000 won per bun, that's a steal.
It captures your attention because when you walk down the street, it looks like a like a hot spring just erupting from the side. So branding wise, it really stands out. Look at the steam coming off of that. The dough to filling ratio is crazy.
This is literally better than anything you can get at the night market. We just stepped into the subway because it was freaking cold outside and we wanted to warm up. And I just saw this little stand and it said like the first Deli Manjoo, which I have no idea what that even means, but it's the first. So that means something. And it smelled so good. So I got a little small size of 6 of these for $3. Like they were the first and they're still not trying to gouge you. And it's so tasty. It's like a little fluffy cake with custard in the middle, freshly made, not sitting there. Very, very tasty. This made the night. We've been strolling into some places and been getting some misses. So we're like, we're going back to the Google reviews approach. We found this place, it had high ratings, and we're like, all right, let's just go on in. It's off on like a smaller alley, a little bit of a hole in the wall vibe, family owned shop it seems, and the owners were so nice. So it's basically like a hot pot with some noodles, some oyster mushrooms, I think a little bit of kale. And in the reviews, they say they specialize in like acorn based stuff. So like maybe the noodles have some acorn, I don't know. It was very delicious. Once you're done eating all the noodles, all the delicious mushrooms, everything that's in there, they then bring out this little bowl of like rice and acorn bits and an egg, and they basically mix it kind of into the soup and cook that up into like a porridge. And at first we were like, no, it's okay, because we were so full. But she's like, are you sure? I mean, I'm translating what I didn't understand. I'm translating the vibe. She was like, oh, are you sure? And we're like, okay. And so she did it for us, and I'm so glad we had it because it was really tasty. The owners were just so nice. Like, they could tell we didn't really know what we were doing at first, and they came over in a very kind way and kind of were trying to communicate to us in Korean, and we were just smiling back and forth and nodding and kind of getting it, but it was a delightful experience. We're super full now. So we're gonna go find a cafe to get some caffeine and just chill out for a bit until we can move our bodies again.
We checked out the main royal palace in Seoul. Korea sadly has gone through a lot of shit, like 99% of countries have. It's not Switzerland. And unfortunately, a lot of historical stuff here was destroyed in the war. Even this palace was restored multiple times. It's meant to be more like a reenactment and a display of Korean culture. We got to see traditional Korean clothing, and there was even a changing of the guard. If you're gonna go, just be aware that a changing of the guard anywhere is a touristy thing, whether it's here or Buckingham Palace. These are performers. They're wearing giant fake mustaches. They're probably gonna be getting wasted at the barbecue place later. You gotta suspend your disbelief and appreciate it for what it is.
During the Joseon dynasty, the royal guards were responsible for protecting the palace and city gates.
Okay, we just came back from the palace. We're now at this stream. I was just reading a little bit about it on that wall. Apparently it used to be a real dump. At one point in the 70s, they built a highway over the stream. So in the mid-2000s, they, as you can see, restored it, built these canals, these nice little rocks for people to chill and hang out with, trying to recreate that vibe of like a peaceful stream. So it's cool that they cared about the aesthetics of it, trying to make it beautiful. And now it's a place where people just come hang out after work, after school.
We've been eating a lot of soups and stews lately, which is really tasty, but we wanted to have some solid food. And so Roman thought, let's do bibimbap today. We haven't had bibimbap yet. So we found a restaurant that was really highly rated and had a lot of reviews by locals. Sure enough, we were the only foreigners. The staff was super friendly, and it was delicious. It was probably the best bibimbap I've ever had. The ingredients were very fresh. They gave us all the little side dishes that were also really tasty. And one of the side dishes was a kimchi pancake. Like, I've never had kimchi pancake as a side dish. And it was really good. They also did have some stews, so we might be back for soup next time.
Like I was saying, Seoul neighborhoods are unreal. Like, each area has its own cool shit going on. We did this nice walk up a mountain and we saw some amazing views.
We're at the Seoul Tower. We walked up, we did not cheat, we didn't take the gondola, although we might take it down. It took us maybe like 45 minutes to hike up here. Depends how much huffing and puffing there is for you and how many stops there is. It's not like a tough hiking trail at all. There's just a lot of steps, and the view is definitely worth it. you don't want to hike all the way up or down, hot tip, just go into sport mode. Just go into sport mode and then you can get down a lot faster. So we're back at the Korean restaurant. I don't even know what this place is called because it's all in Korean. Like on the menu, they just write Korean restaurant. And this time we are trying some of the stews. So we ordered their soybean paste stew called Gyeongbokgung. That is apparently one of the most iconic and popular dishes in Korean cuisine. I didn't know that, it just looked good. And then we also got a hot stone pot of bulgogi to get our protein in. And that's gonna be our breakfast.
The first fried chicken place we tried out was in Hongdae. It looked poppin'. Like there were people in there, lit off soju, the music was a vibe, the booth was cozy, but the fried chicken, mostly batter. I think the goal of this place was to get students so juiced off the soju that they wouldn't even notice they're eating pretty much just flavored crunchiness. It was a straight up scam.
It's a lot of batter, a little bit of chicken.
Just because you're in Korea doesn't mean every piece of fried chicken that hits you in the face is going to be this Korean godlike standard. So we had to really scout for the best fried chicken. Then we found another fried chicken place called Chicken in the Kitchen. It's apparently a chain in South Korea, but it was one of the most recommended places online. The inside was really cozy and they even played ancient millennial music. We got one order of regular fried chicken along with a soy flavor. Then we got drinks and waited. I don't know if my heart could handle another fried chicken disappointment.
I'm hoping this is the Korean fried chicken experience that I wanted.
Then the chicken came, and I felt like we were finally in good hands. It was perfectly crunchy on the outside and juicy on the inside. The flavor was incredible. It had a touch of sweetness and umami. It also came with some perfectly cooked potato wedges and even had chunks of roasted garlic. But most importantly, the fried chicken had actual chicken inside. It was just a flawless balance of batter and meat. This place completely undid our sad chicken experience from before. 5 out of 5 Korean fried chicken. We also checked out this village. This is not a cute Animal Crossing type of village. It's a tourist village. There are more tourists here than available oxygen, and I get that we're a part of that. And these days it's full of expensive restaurants. It was okay. I get people want to see it. I think there's better areas to check out.
You go, is anyone looking? No?
Korea traditional liquor. Rice wine.
We just got Magioli, which is Korean rice wine. This one is quite balanced. Like, it's not too sweet, not bitter. I personally prefer this to regular wine.
Damn.
Maybe because I'm Asian.
You're like, give me rice in drinkable alcoholic form. That's so rich. It's kind of velvety. It's like if they made kefir alcoholic. This is like basically a beer for a little baby
Yeah.
who wants to get a buzz.
I'm the baby, getting the buzz. Time to get waffles. Got myself a little apple cinnamon strudel. I would prefer savory snack, but I'm just going for whatever I see that looks good. It goes together quite well.
One thing I will say is Seoul gives a shit about the aesthetic. South Korea did not have an economic miracle for nothing. They've swagged this place out.
We had one goal today, and it was to get Gyeongbokgung. You can find a gazillion Korean barbecue restaurants, but for some reason it's actually difficult to find a place that offers Gyeongbokgung. It's our last night in Seoul. It's the last Korean dish that we wanted to eat. We're in this cozy little corner, sitting on the floor, traditional style, and I'm so excited. This might be spicy as hell.
And the Gyeongbokgung here was certified lava. They will not modify the spice level for you if you're weak. I can just barely handle this level of spice, but it did test me.
Two things hit me at once. How tender that is, but also how spicy that is. That just like uppercuts you.
So just know what you're getting yourself into. If you're not a spicy food person, like this place might break you.
I don't know how spicy this is gonna be. Quite spicy. This is closing out our trip in a lovely, lovely way.
It's a medium bowl, and I had to talk Julia out of getting it large. Like I feel like a witch, like hunched over a full-out cauldron. Imagine we got a large. I don't even know if we're gonna finish this.
One thing we quickly noticed is Koreans are not shy around cameras compared to a more conservative country like Japan. They are no stranger to the media game. We've seen them out in the streets, filming, doing street interviews, doing live streams, and outdoor concerts. People would even see me filming a certain street or a building and they just throw up a peace sign or smile. It was pretty chill. When Koreans are not out in public, dancing or storming the streets to save their democracy, they're out doing cool shit. And I respect that. Sadly, cool does not always equal considerate. We saw a side of Seoul that caught me off guard. The upside is, Seoul is absurdly safe and reliable for a big city. I would see people just leave their phones at their tables when they'd step out. Thanos could leave all of his infinity stones at a cafe here, and no one would steal them. I've noticed people tend to romanticize Asian cities in general, but like most things, it was a mixed bag. And I'm happy I got to see the multiple sides of Seoul. I saw the tasty food side, the soulless consumer corporate side, the fun cultural side. It's got its own pros and cons like any other big city, so I appreciate it for what it is. But if I could change one thing, it would be to replace these metal chopsticks with wooden ones. Please change this, Korea. Please.